Good morning and welcome to VOP This Morning. I'm Moses Humphrey, and today on the show, Nigerian health professionals are pressing on with a threat to embark on an industrial action yet again. And they have given an ultimatum within which the federal government must adopt a new salary structure for its members. Plus, a court has restrained INEC from prosecuting suspended resident electoral commissioner Yunusa Ari in Adamawa State. Now, these two matters will be on our table this morning, of course. But also, we'll like for you to click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. It's Voice of the People TV. That's the channel, Voice of the People TV, VOP TV for short. Click, subscribe, follow, engage. Let us know your thoughts. Now, before we get into the major talking points for the day, let's take a look at what the cover pages have for us this morning. And we do have quite some dailies with us that we'll be looking at this morning. I say we because I'm not doing this alone, of course. I have with me in the studio VOP analyst Cyril Abaku. Good morning to you, Cyril.
Good morning, Moses.
Fantastic day it is indeed.
Great.
Now let's start off with the Nation newspaper. Banner headline from the Nation has 800,000 liters vessel with stolen crude intercepted, destroyed. NNPCL security raises bar in crude theft battle. 64 illegal crude joints found. 77 illegal refineries destroyed. Now, this is latest information. Now, on top of that, when you have Ondo Assembly extends Akeredolu's medical leave indefinitely. On top of the nameplate, sordid tales of Lagos-Abeokuta expressway users. It's road to hell, they say. U.S. waives export duty on cocoa. Economy gets boost. EcoBank writes First Bank over Otudeco. How I acquired FBN shares. All right. And then when you go further down, there's a picture of the vessel there. The vessel that was intercepted and then destroyed. And then right underneath that one, we have Tinubu targets 30 trillion naira revenue in 3 years. Plans technology, data-driven approach. FIRS, Customs, NIMASA, others won't be merged. So that is alleviating the fears of some people. Obasanjo lashes lawmakers for fixing own pay. Excuse 7 judges from election tribunal, says Afe Babalola. All right. Now these are, and then we have right underneath, there we have court orders INEC to suspend Adama Rec prosecution. Excuse me. All right, so these are the headlines that we have here.
Moses, I think that first of all, let me take a broad sweep at the headlines you've given. I want to assume that anybody who has been around this country for the past 20 years can conveniently write all the stories in the papers for 1 year. Because it's same of same, nothing significantly changes. If they say that somebody is flying a kite or some government institution has done some wrong thing, or the bizarre, you could tell. And I want to think that if I had Daily Graphic of Kenya, of Ghana, I had the Nation of Kenya, for example, and I had, let's say, the Punch of Nigeria. Even if they didn't put the names of the actors and the locations, you can always tell which headlines are from Nigeria. So I'm sorry, but this what that means is simply
our problems are peculiar to us.
Yes, and that it just tells you the direction our civilization is traveling. We're not in the right direction. Okay, so first of all, if the US is awarding us export waiver, what's it called, duty waiver on cocoa, should we dance over it? I think that if we grow cocoa in Nigeria, we should be thinking of how to develop big chocolate factories, beverages, and the entire value chain that cocoa can produce. you are exporting it to another country because your home country is dilapidated, your factories have mothballed, people have packed up and run away. You are now sending it to other countries desperately looking for money, and they even and then they impose the tax on it because you didn't have a choice. Now that it's removing the tax, which means the more you farm, the more you send, because your government has no plan, has no vision, has no direction, has no. Ideally, the day America made this announcement, the following day, the following week, within hours, Nigeria should be thinking of how they counter. Nobody, you hear anything about that, and we should be happy that America came and is telling us that they want to give us waiver, so that if before we are sending 70 tons a day, today we will not start sending 1,000 tons. The fact is that people look, Moses. I was at a seminar, and one of the lecturers was saying that this agriculture thing, the difference between it's like saying 1 and 100 could just be what you do like this. And how did he mean? I think he was talking about pepper or something. He said, instead of exporting the way you harvest it, from the moment you grind it and dry it and package it, the value just soars immediately. Because the preservation. So of course you can't take raw pepper from here to, let's say, Malaysia. It could rot on the way.
Of course.
But if you grind and package, maybe all that you need to do is pour maybe honey in it or something, and put and put a label on it, because it's preserved and it's the same thing traveling from the person who used to cook. They're not going to grind it anyway. So by the time the thing leaves here to that place, the value chain, 1, you can pack more. 2, it's looking decent. 3, it's preserved, which means technology has come into it. And in any case, in preserving it, you might have used salt or something else. So it means that if you didn't have that, you went and bought it. Things are getting. We don't think at that level. What we do is, once it is out of the earth, and this rudimentary pluck and eat, dig and eat, remove and eat, is Stone Age man. That's Stone Age agriculture. Any agriculture that does not thrive on its allied industries is the waste of time. That's for the story about cocoa and whatever. The other time, when Buhari first came into office, Dr. Udogbe was saying, no, they talk about sending raw things to. There's even a law that says, there's a Nigerian law that says you cannot export raw farm produce. That no, we needed to do it. Then we sent yams overseas. They were rejected. Number 2, I hope we know that then it was about the issue of over-reliance on oil, that we needed to diversify the economy. And as agriculture was so, we rapidly went to the farms, harvested yams, and began to ship it to all parts of the world. And in some places, they even rejected the yam. Meanwhile, in yam is a particular, because the minister also knew why he went for yam. In yam is a particular nutrient that is useful for pharmaceutical industries. How about our local drug manufacturers? Nobody thought about them. We just said, oh yeah. They say we are doing too much oil. Let's pack. The policy was never sustainable. Because who does that? You go to Benue, pack yams, and say you're taking them to America. When people in Nigeria cannot even afford to buy yam to eat. So that is it. The question of America removing duty, the taxes that they're imposing on cocoa export is not good news to anybody. Then oil thieves did what? The
vessel that was stolen was intercepted and then destroyed.
Please.
Just actually
they had the time to snap it. They had time to take pictures of it, but they did, but not to. So who are the owners?
Well,
and there are no human beings on it.
That's the angle to it that that's raising questions. Who did they apprehend? Are they prosecuting? Have they named names? Those that they apprehended, have they named names? These are questions that one would need to know. And then 800,000 liters. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot.
Imagine the difference that will make to Nigeria's own official daily production. Is it 1.something million or 2 that they said Angola, sometimes Angola was supposed to, sometimes we surpass Angola. There are no oil thieves there. if Nigeria could be losing as much as 800,000 barrels, the thieves are not, there are no thieves, sir. There are no thieves in that place. It is government itself. There are no thieves. There are no thieves. The other day, aside of with all the things he said that and he's working free. But when he said that the military were the oil thieves, the president didn't do anything about it. They told him name names. He didn't name any name. What the president did was to fire service chiefs. Now look at it. Oil theft is on the increase. 800,000 barrels.
Okay, let me.
That is even what they came to declare anyway.
Let's take a little. Let's go deeper into the story just for better understanding. Now, the story has it that the NNPCL said its private security contractor, Tantita Security Services, intercepted the vessel. So it's a private contractor.
Isn't that from Polo's company?
Intercepted security services. I beg your pardon. Intercepted the vessel, and it said the vessel was destroyed. Now, the chief communications officer of the oil giant, Garba Dean Mohammed, said that the vessel, which was on its way to Cameroon, was apprehended with its crew and with its captain and crew members on board.
So then why did they destroy the boat if they caught the crew, the captain and crew? After World War II, after World War II ended, the Mossad wanted to make a statement to the whole world that never again must Israel be toyed with, or must the Jews be toyed with. One of the man who spearheaded the Holocaust, the killing of 6 million Jews, Moses, was hiding out in Argentina, on Garibaldi Street in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. So the Mossad did their checks very well, thoroughly, located the man. Will I say kidnapped him or arrested him? Of course, it was a kidnapped him from Argentina and brought him back to Israel. They asked him, Mr. Eichmann, why did you undertake the Holocaust? Why did you kill Jews this way? He said he had merely been following orders. Well, he paid for it because he was following orders. He had a conscience whether to obey or not, or whether to take a walk. The persons who are doing these things are
There's more to the story.
No, of course.
There's more to the story. You saw my eyes,
popping up.
Yeah.
The persons who are helping to destroy this country, they shouldn't tell us tomorrow that they were ordered to do so
because sorry to interrupt you now. If you go deeper into this story, you'll discover that this vessel has been operating in Nigeria, according to the reports, in stealth mode for the past 12 years. Taking oil, currently was caught taking oil from crude oil from Ondo, heading to Cameroon. Has that been the only place it's been taking oil from?
No.
Or has it been taking oil from other parts of the country to Cameroon and beyond for 12 years? Stealth mode?
Moses, the other boat that was
and this is a boost.
It's not a
boost. We have to say thumbs up.
The question we have to ask ourselves is why did they destroy it and why are they telling us about it now? Perhaps new thieves are trying to replace old thieves, and the easiest way to get
perhaps a kite is being flown.
Yes, but the kite will be flown. But the point is, when you flow this kite, the public may not buy because with the details you've given now, it doesn't seem as if they expect us to cheer. I'm not cheering, for example, okay, but it makes it makes all the sense if we think that new thieves are trying to replace old thieves. Because anybody who has been there for 12 years, there's no kite to fly anything anymore. They've stolen as much as they can steal. 12 years after today, we are seeing 800,000 barrels. It means that if we dig properly, this is something else entirely. This is the industry within the industry. This is even the main industry.
This is the main industry.
This is the main industry.
Actually.
So anybody that is taking it on must be taking it on with the mind of replacing. Because Moses, let me ask you, the other day, the one they said they found in, is it Delta or Edo that they said they had orders to destroy. Is that okay? Now, the question you ask yourself is, if after about 1 year or two, you have another one that has been around for 12 years, they didn't know about it, they didn't get intelligence. The question is, how many more are still lurking around? How many more are still there? In Delta, in Edo, in Rivers, in Ondo, in Bayelsa. How many more are still there? They are there. They said stealth mode, right? They must not insult our sensibility. They can insult theirs, but not ours. They can insult theirs. You see, there are parameters to this thing. If indeed a boat could be in our waters for 12 years in stealth mode and the Navy didn't know, it means that there's no security. It's beyond oil theft. It means they could have been there doing just any other thing. They could have toppled our government. Because anywhere intelligence and security has failed, it means anything can happen. They could have toppled our government. Who knows what? Because you see, apart from giving bribes to people who should keep quiet when they're doing what they're doing, oil money is extremely infectious. Who are the people that they've been giving money to destroy our society? People that should be reporting that have kept quiet. Perhaps community leaders who know this and are not saying anything about it. And who gave the order to destroy them? At what point did government know? And at what point did they destroy them? That I'm telling you, that new thieves are about to replace old thieves. That's the only meaning I can read into it. There's no other way to explain it. You can't. You couldn't be kidding us now. A boat came and was looting for 3 months and nobody knew.
Well, I think
another boat has been there for 2 years and nobody knew.
I think differently. I think this, to me, looks more like an issue of let's sacrifice this one. Let's sacrifice this. So it seems like we are working and things are different. That's what it feels like. Because the president did say that he will go after oil thieves. Now, all of a sudden, a company that has been milking Nigeria for 12 years has been discovered. It's been operating in stealth mode for 12 years. It doesn't mean it's been stationed there for 12 years. It's been going and coming.
Of course.
Moving.
Of course.
For 12 years. And all of a sudden, now we have caught them.
Now, let me intervene with this again. The way, sometimes Nigeria has nothing new to offer. No new surprise to give you, really. I believe that whether in government or out of government, everybody knows who is who, and everybody knows who does what. Between when the president spoke and when they're even going after this one in Ondo is a long time already. Moses, you will be amazed at the amount of information that is at the disposal of Nigerian security agencies. You will be terribly amazed. That man that spoke the other time, he said it. He said the DSS alone knew more than what all the intelligence arms could have at any given time put together. That he took the president Yaradua to force them to say, you must share what you have. They know. That's why I say, until we know what really happened behind the scenes, new thieves, Mr. Mo, are replacing old ones.
All right, let's touch on another daily now before we run out of time for this segment of the show. The Punch has these headlines: fuel smuggling persists in borders despite subsidy removal. Customs boss. Customs CG rejigs border patrol. Others crack down on fuel smuggling cartels. NNPCL intercepts Cameroon-bound vessel laden with 800,000 liters stolen crude oil. On top of the nameplate, it's illegal for National Assembly to fix members' pay. Obasanjo. EcoBank asks FBN to reject Otudeko's share acquisition. Tinubu counterpoint everybody minister, says Adamu. Lagos Airport runway lights stolen. 7 suspended. Fayose will pay for working against Atiku, PDP, NEC member. NLC meets governors over fuel subsidy palliative. PDP demands transparency as Akeredolu extends sick leave. Lagos vigilante tortures colleague to death over phone. And Elebu Ibon chides Emir for stopping Isese festival. All right, so these are the headlines in the Punch newspaper. You did make a sound there
Eh,
for
Perhaps I should
a
begin.
particular story. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because I think I was interested in almost
The
in
neck.
90% of them. The PDP. It is not too late for Atiku to maybe beg. Atiku Abubakar. It may not be too late for him to beg, since the likes of Makinde, I think Autumn, um, the one in Enugu, counting some PDP governors now, Delta, Edo, right? They all PDP. It may not be too late for him to beg and bring the party back together. Otherwise, what we're seeing in the PDP may just be the last kick,
Disintegration of the party.
the final nail kicks of a horse that has been. You know, when you decapitate some animals, their feet still keeps kicking. Life is gone, but they kick until they die. I hope that the PDP has not effectively entered that zone, because with what one, they're not in a very good place right now. Everything that they had before the 2023 election, they are losing. Their governors, the cream of their governors, worked against their candidate for president. Elections were done and thus they came into appointing principal officers of National Assembly. The party could not appoint its own choice candidates into principal officers of National Assembly. Somebody from somewhere came to do that for them, and had members in the party who willingly follow that person out. I don't know. So I don't know how else the party wants to claim that it is still
A viable party.
a viable party. Because right now, you see, this is the problem. Some people are members of the PDP. You don't know where their minds are. They are physical. In fact, they won an election with people, but you don't know where they are. You don't. I don't want to go into too many details, but I know that a lot of PDP governors are aware that they will either hold the president and be loyal to him, or it will not be well with them politically. Let me say it again, Moses. Some PDP governors, I believe, are aware by now that it is either they hold on to the president, say, President Tinubu, we are your children, or they know that politically
career is dead.
it shall not be well with them. So if your party cannot house you, cannot feed you, cannot clothe you, and does not have a name that can open doors for you, I wonder what sanity it will be on the part of anybody who is still clinging to that party and saying on your, so it's not really going to work anymore. Okay. I think, but if the vice president, if former president, if Atiku Abubakar comes and says, okay guys, because Fayose went publicly to go and tell the president that I worked for you, I worked against my country.
let's leave this conversation for later. Let's leave it for another time. Well, we have to wrap this up right now, as we will be going into a major talking point for this morning. That is the question: can Nigeria afford another downing of tools in the health sector? As health workers say, they may down tools very soon should government not consider their demand for salary increase. Well, this and more will be coming up shortly. We'll take a break, and VOP this morning will be back.